All right. Who recorded?
John.
Sean? Okay, cool. All right, everyone, welcome. My name is Frank Brennis. I'm an agency director, direct to Mr. Sean Kim. And today we got a really cool thing we're going to bring up. And just thank everybody for being on. I know not everybody can be on. So this is being recorded. As soon as it's done recorded, I'll post it on my channel. We'll also post it inside of Engage Line and just for you guys. All right, so to start this, who here, show of hands, is familiar with the MIT lead report? Show of hands or put a one. If you're not, I'm going to post it after the call, okay? The reason why I'm going to post it after the call is simply because I don't want you guys looking through it right now and just getting distracted. All right, so when you become an agency owner, you get access to a ton of information. So all your directs, you get a chance to see what's being submitted. And last week I asked Bo, I'm like, bro, what are you like? When are you posting? Like, when are you closing? And I started noticing a pattern with the top producers that every one of them had this certain pattern on when they were closing business. And it was universal across all the producers. Now I'm talking about income producing system. I'm not talking about friends and family. I'm talking about people that are actually buying leads in the system and submitting policies. All right. I started seeing more and more of that. So that led me to even digging deeper into, okay, well, what states? All right, what day part? And the interesting thing here that we found was it matches exactly with the MIT lead report. Like it's phenomenal how it just matches with top producers. So it's for top agents, they're not producing randomly. Okay, they're producing because they have some consistency, and that's what's key. Think about this. The keys that we see here, and I want you guys to write this down, is they're typically dialing Mondays and Tuesdays and throughout the week. And then they begin contacting and touching people at about Wednesday timeframe. And then they submit the majority of their business, which is about 58% of all business in the Brennis Master Agency is submitted on Thursdays and Fridays. How cool is that? So, my assumption was I'm looking at the top producer, but I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Are you like sandbagging? What's going on? And it's not. Like it literally saw all the big picture of it. And so also, can you guys take a guess really quick when the best time to set appointments and to contact people? If everybody wants to guess that, you can let me know right now. Post it on the
Wednesdays
comment.
and Thursdays in the morning and the evening.
Yeah, okay. Well,
No?
what do the stats say? The stats say run appointments during the afternoon and evening hours. And then you concentrate on these states that are historically right, the highest APV. And we're going to go into that. Let me share my screen with you guys to get started. All right. Awesome. Saturday morning. We'll see. But by the way, in all fairness, I can't see your stuff, Chris. I can't see your stuff. Bo sees it. Although I can go into the dashboard, which we're going to talk to if you guys get a chance next week on the 13th, I think, Sean. We're going to have the inventor of the dashboard, which is Brian Williamson. And actually, guys, if you get a chance as an AO, or as if you have an AO to have access to that, it is an amazing tool too. And I use some of it too to show you guys some of the stats. I based it on. Okay, so what's the money window, guys? What's the money window? 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. That is the strongest money window across the team. 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Submission 75% Wednesday through Friday, submit through Friday represents 75% of all visible submissions. How cool is that? 58% Thursday through Friday of all visible business occurred. And I took a sample size of all my SLO agents. Okay. SLO is standing lead order. So, you guys, here's a tip. If you're not buying leads right now, buy them. Start today. Buy them. Get into the system. The friends and family approach will fuel your first ride. Like you'll fill up for the first time, but you'll run out of gas. Trust me. I've promoted out leaders that way, and they're no longer here. Being 100% truthful. What gets you to the next level is consistent lead purchasing. Okay. And that's what you're seeing in all these leaders and these stats that are based off of. Okay. All right. So let's continue. if it can work. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. Here's an actual table of the days and the approximate apps submitted. Now I ran it from February to March. Okay, so I haven't looked even at January, but I could take a sample size of the entire year for 2025. However, the team has changed since 2025. So what I want to do is I want to take the raw sample size right now of what the team is doing right now. So here we go. So who said, check this out, who said Thursdays, right? 39 approximate applications submitted on Thursday, which represents 31%. And then if you look at Friday, that's 26%, which is 32. So the strongest close day by far is Thursdays. And the strongest close day also followed by Friday. So 58% of the entire business is literally on Thursdays and Fridays. So what you guys are doing that leads into the week is what's setting up for your Thursdays and Fridays. Okay. So the takeaway, Thursdays and Fridays account for 57 to 58% of all submitted business. Now it's not issue paid now. I can't get that data until snapshot report comes out, but it's a good indicator of what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks or even into the next month if there's some requirements that take place. So if any agent wants a big Friday, they have to create that Friday by dialing hard Monday and Tuesday, even Saturday. Okay. So here we go. Best times to close. Here we go. Who said 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.? Go ahead and write a 1 if you said 5 p.m. That's it. That's the highest APV and strongest close rate. Both spouses are home, less work distractions, and more urgency. How cool is that, right, guys? Remember, they get off of their work, right? If we're doing mortgage protection, if we're following the system, you're going to have spouse there home with the other, and you're going to have less distraction. And that's 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., typically after work, maybe after dinner. And then the second strongest is going to be retirees and homeowners are available between 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Moderate, what we see is better for qualification, setting appointments, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then 11 a.m. to 2 is the weakest. Most distractions, when we think, hey, we're going to go to lunch, I'll take you at lunch. Well, what the stats show is that 11 to 2 is probably the weakest time to do it. I mean, if you do it anyways. But I'm just letting you know statistically what it's saying. And this is also, we cross references on the MIT report. So the strongest appointment block is Wednesday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. By the way, of you that are buying leads, who knows that already? This shouldn't be a shock to you guys, right? This should not be a shock. This is shock. This is confirming this information. So top producers identified from data. Bo Hirschfield, Thursday, Friday, Bo is a monster. Guess what states Bo works? Bo, do you work these states? I gotcha. There you go, Chris. There's the playbook. You want to beat Bo? I don't think so. Bo's a beast. Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. Stefan, and it's 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's his window. That's Bo's money window. Stefan Brennis, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., California, Texas, Arizona. Okay, Thursday and Friday. Jorge Medina, again, I can only see stats based on what I have, okay? Based on what I see on my team and I wish, Sean, please, if you can give me the stats, please, I would love to see it. So then I can have a bigger picture. And if I could get Danny Young's, woo, we could just tell a huge story here and how it collaborates with this information. So Jorge, Wednesday and Thursdays, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, Jorge is working a different lead type. He's working living benefits life leads. So this is all new to me here for him. It's California, Texas, and Nevada, but you're seeing patterns here, right? Ryan Hilliard, 9 applications, Thursday through Friday, 5P to 8P, Texas and Florida. And then we got Jessica Action Jackson, Thursday and Friday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. I didn't know she worked a lot of East Coast times. Very successful. Galeazzo, Thursday and Friday, 3P to 6P, California, Arizona. Kat, do you work Virginia and Arizona?
I work Virginia. I've closed very little business in Arizona.
For some reason, Arizona is high
I
APV
close
for
a
you.
lot in North Carolina. I close a lot in
Mhm.
Virginia, and what would be my other biggest states? Missouri and South Carolina
Mm.
are my
Well,
biggest states.
well, in the past 2 months, this is what we're seeing. So, and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. time frame. So if you're working some central Coast leads, probably that 5 p.m. block, right? Thursdays and Fridays are the money days. Screenshot this, guys. Thursdays and Fridays are your money days. Here's commitment time. What I want from each and every one of you that does not have a standing lead order, I want you to go ahead and put a one there that you will get a standing lead order, and that you're going to focus on those states to help increase the probabilities of you closing more. It all starts with massive action and constant correction there. It starts with you identifying the states, identifying the day parts, and then you now purchasing and investing in those leads and going after it. Okay, there is no surprises to this. It's very predictable. The only thing you can control is your decision to dial, your choices, and thereafter, you can make, like Chris Leak says, you could be average and make over $100,000 a year here, being average. Those are the stats. All right, so highest APV. What are the highest APVs? Well, Ryan Hilliard, typical APV per application is 1,800 to 3,000. That's a big range. And then a single highest case APV, larger face amounts, strongest evening closes. That's where his money hours are. 5 p.m. You guys saw it at 8 p.m. is his strong money closes. Bo, 1,400 consistently. I'd love to see your 1 year, Bo. We'll pull that up if you'd like, and we'll dive even deeper. But highest overall volume combined with strong APV. And then Stefan Brennis, 1,300 to 2,000, consistent volume and larger faced amounts. Jorge Medina, steady and repeatable. He's doing different lead types. Living benefits razor leads. So because of that, I think it's impacting APV. And Jessica Jackson, 1,100, 1,700, consistent, reliable, and case sizes. She's always getting one or two applications out of one. Always gets an additional accidental death, and that's a Chris Leak training that she's done. That's a lot of our team does that. And the largest APV cases are generally being written by agents running appointments in the evening, especially Thursdays and Fridays again. How does this stack up? Here it is. Here are the states. Texas, 15 to 2,500. Texas is a big state. It's #1 state for our master agency from what I'm seeing. I want to get the other data, which we'll get, but from what I'm seeing, it's Texas. #2 is Florida. I don't know what California is there. The AI didn't do it right, but it's California there. And then Nevada and Georgia. Okay, so those are strong takeaways there. The reigning strong overall. Nevada appears to be underutilized and may deserve more lead budget, but that's what it looks like. State ranking by APV so far is what we're seeing in the master agency. And then how does this compare to the MIT lead report? Here it is. So MIT study finding Wednesdays and Thursdays are the best days to contact and qualify leads. Our team, most applications are submitted Thursday and Friday. Yes, agents are contacting and setting midweek, then closing 1 to 2 days later. Best contact window, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, our strongest is 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So yes, the strongest closing window overlaps almost perfectly. So here we go. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. is the single best hour to qualify a lead. Highest APV applications tend to come from late afternoons and evening appointments. So it does match. And calling within 5 minutes to make your 21 times more likely to qualify a lead. It makes you 21 times more likely. And this is more for the digital leads, guys. This isn't for MIAs. But what we found is if you're calling within a 5-minute window, it makes you 21 times more likely to qualify that lead, to contact them, to get in contact with them. So your top producers respond and work fresh leads quickly is what we're seeing. And we're seeing that with Jessica when she does that. We see that. And then Thursday is the strongest day to qualify leads. Thursday is your strongest day for submitted business, which is true. It does. So if you're looking at this, if you're looking at the team we're analyzing, we're fitting within the MIT lead report structure that they did. So this is not by accident, none of this stuff, okay? So what this means for you as an agent, Monday and Tuesday, actually start Saturday, dials and setting appointments. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays, contact fresh leads immediately, run the strongest appointments from 4 to 6 p.m., build urgency and commitment. Thursday and Friday, submit majority of all your business. Run cleanup appointments and follow-up. So MIT statistics to share with the team is you're 100 times more likely to connect a calling in a lead within 5 minutes instead of 30 minutes. makes you 100 times more likely to contact them. So 20 times more likely to qualify them. Calling within 5 minutes makes you 21 times more likely to qualify that lead. Wednesday and Thursdays are the best days to reach qualified prospects. 4P to 5P are the single strongest hour that there is, guys. Do not set any interviews. Don't set any of those things during those times. Those are the breadbasket. I'll say that again. Do not set interviews during that time. Block your calendars. That's your money time. MIT report study says the best time to contact leads is Wednesday and Thursdays, 4 to 6. Our own numbers show the biggest applications are submitted Thursdays and Fridays, 3 p.m. to 8. And that means that top agents are following the exact same pattern. Build the week early, contact midweek, then close late week. That is the pattern. All right, next, we're almost done here, guys. We're almost out of the valley. Every agent should answer these following questions. What state gives me the highest APV? I give you guys a cheat sheet on that, but you guys should know your state. I want you guys to use ChatGPT to analyze all your closes, what time you submitted it, analyze all of it, and tell ChatGPT of these, if I'm a betting person, which states would you go all in on, right? Use it for your advantage. What day part gives you the best close rate? So I know we're tracking our numbers, we're tracking our calls. I want you to track when you're talking to them and when you're closing them, when you're submitting to them. I submit to you, if you guys do that, you're no longer just swinging for the fences. You know, you're Otani, man. Dodgers against Toronto, and you're hitting that thing right in the middle, out of the park every time. Okay. So what day part gives me my best close rate? I promise Bo knows. I promise Stefan knows. So which day of the week do I close the best? So again, you guys, in order for you guys to do this, you need data. That means you need reps, massive action, constant correction. You need that to build your story. So which week of the month do I perform best? Guess what week ours is? Week 3 and 4. Week 1, we kind of always suck. These are patterns. I want you guys to start thinking in that way. Patterns. And then I want you to examine those patterns and apply them. I want you to analyze your business. What am I doing differently when I win? Kat, I'll ask you, what do you do differently when you win? By the way, Kat had a 20K top producer month. Snapshot report. Congratulations. What did you do differently, Kat? I know you went all in. I know you just, the noise. What did you
Yeah,
do different?
I mean, I just kind of unplugged from a lot of things and just focused on production, period,
There you go. There you go. So
and
you go
increased
ahead.
my lead order.
High signal, very low noise. Chris, so again, screenshot this. Everybody screenshot this. We're gonna do this, you guys. We have 12 people. We're gonna commit right now to actually answering these questions. I want you to screenshot this. Again, you need data first. What states give you the highest APV ever? What state? And now, if you're running friends and family, that's good data. It's good to start, but you need to be running leads, mortgage protection leads, typically MICs all the way down. Okay. You got to invest in your business. You got to get the data. Okay. And then what day part gives me my best close rate? Which day of the week do I close best? I've shown you guys what the team has done in top producers. And then which week of the month do I perform the best? I submit to you, it's probably the third going into the fourth week. And then and by the way, think about that for a second, guys. What happens on the first of every month? People are typically the average person's typically getting paid and they have a mortgage, they're paying their mortgage. So what happens on the 15th? They're getting their second pay and possibly that second on the 15th, 16th, 17th, they have budget to spend some stuff, okay? Does that make sense? Do you see why the patterns? We're doing mortgage protection. It's very predictable. Okay. Well, can I get a 1 if you guys heard that? I'll say it again, guys. Can I get a 1, please, if you heard that? Good. You're hearing that, right? What happens typically on the first of the month when we're dealing with average out there? What happens? We're paying mortgages, we're paying rent, we're paying all those things, right? Then what happens on the 15th of the month? You guys remember, right? You have time there, expenditures. Typically, I'll tell you guys, most of the time it's either the first or the 15th when you're closing business and you're asking them when. And by the way, we're going to be teaching a little bit of techniques on that. I'm saying, hey, listen, so when do you want this to come out, on the 1st or the 15th? Just be presumptive on that. Hey, the 1st or the 15th. Can we do the 20th? Absolutely. But put it in their head. Be presumptive. Hey, I'm looking at this. Most of my clients, I have over 8,000 clients, either 1st or 15th. What works for you? Can we do it on the 17th? It gives me a little bit more time. Absolutely. Okay, so I want you guys to start thinking in that way. This is very predictable. We say the same thing to different people every day. Okay. When you're recruiting, same thing. What do people want? They want more time and they want more money. Okay. Well, we can make that happen for them. But the question is, are they willing to commit? Okay. Most won't. It's okay. More for us, more for you that are here. Okay. So what state gives me the highest APV? What day part gives me the highest close rate? Which, when I say day part, guys, I used to work in radio and television, and there was always day parts like 6A to 8A. Excuse me, that's what I mean by day part. Okay. And then which day of the week do I close the best? Which week of the month do I perform the best? It's not rocket science, 1st and 15th, right? And then what am I doing differently when I win? When I win, what am I doing differently? Okay. So you guys got that? Put a 1 if you've written those down or if you screenshotted that. All right. And then last but not least, here we go. So, final message to you, the success is not random. Okay. So the top agents are proving that the biggest production happens late in the week. You guys have these stats now. Thursdays and Fridays, late in the day, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Why? It's mortgage protection. People are typically working all day. And then at night, they spend time with their family. And that's when, one of the spouses says, what happens if we were to lose our life? We'll be able to afford this house. Or play that story in their head. And then, are you in the right states? Texas, Florida, California, Nevada, they deliver the highest AP. I would also look at states that have the highest mortgages per capita. Okay, what states are popping up mortgages? Georgia, North Carolina, good states, man. People are buying out there. And then after a strong start, so after a strong Monday and Tuesday dialing, setting appointments. Stop treating every hour equally. I want you guys to start treating it as your favorite. Again, your money hours, do not sacrifice them for anybody. Okay. Matter of fact, saying that, I got to change my schedule on Tuesday. Was it Tuesdays I do it? Wednesdays. Wednesdays are pretty good. So I got to change my schedule. I will. I promise you guys when I do my base shop call. We got to change that based on this. I'm going to be changing it. Okay. So again, protect your best traits, protect your best days, and protect your best hours. The agents who win are not necessarily the agents who work the most. No, they're the ones who think the smartest, right? The ones that are thinking smart and they know exactly that pitch. Ohtani, Dodgers. Okay. That's what they're doing. All right. And then to finish this off with you guys, so let's do a summary at a glance here. Best days to close, Thursdays and Fridays, 57 to 58% of all business submitted in the entire master agency. Wednesdays and Friday represent 75% of all submissions. Best hours to close, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Strongest money window. You can't white knuckle your way to success here. Just think smart. The best single hours to qualify a lead are 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Don't sacrifice that. Frank, I got to stop the base shop calls at 4 p.m. Pacific. I will. This is more for me than you. And then best states for APV, Texas, Florida, California remain the strongest overall. Nevada's underutilized and may deserve more lead budget. Again, speed to lead, contacting them within 5 minutes makes you 100 times more likely to make contact and 20 more times more likely to qualify the lead. Screenshot this. So here's the pattern that wins. You guys ready for it? Here's the formula. Dial Monday, Tuesday, Saturday also, contact and qualify Wednesdays, Thursdays, submit Thursdays and Fridays. Always protect your 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. window. Okay. So set aside early in the mornings for doing your busy stuff, you're following up with cases, any of that stuff. Hey, Frank, I need this carrier. Hey, Frank, I need to unlock. Hey, Frank, set that aside actually use AJ. Don't use me anymore. Use AJ. Don't use me. I'm trying to do this stuff. This stuff is Q2 stuff. You guys don't know on the time quadrant, Q2 is it's like that's where you strategize. But the patterns that win, dial Monday, Tuesdays, contact, qualify Wednesday, Thursday, submit business Thursday and Friday. Always protect 3P to AP. All right, guys. Any questions before I bolt out? Any questions? Awesome, guys. So just to let you guys know, the base shop will be changing times based on my recommendations of that. So we will be changing time. I know that Jessica and Kat keep amazing notes on their weekly dials. All I'm asking now for you guys is track when you're closing that. Like what time of the day did you close that? What time of the day? Also, which week? Was it week 2? Was it week 3? And then we can build a big picture where we could just hone in on that. We can hone in on all that information and go hard on that instead of us guessing like shotgun approach. Now we're very laser focused. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for the call. It was awesome. We did it in 30 minutes.